We hear Super Bowl Sunday is a few days away. Chiefs are 1.5 point favorites in New Orleans over the Eagles. No team has ever had a three-peat. Three Super Bowls in a row, and if this happens, Pat Riley's going to eat because he coined the phrase way back in the day. JB, in your opinion, what can the Eagles do to stop this from happening?
Man, there's a few things. First of all, Jalen Hurts has to be the reason they win. I think the Eagles, so far, the Eagles have won in spite of Jalen's performance. I think now he has to be the reason they win because Spagnuolo, just so we're clear, is the best big game D coordinator in football history, in my opinion. And he hasn't allowed a 100-yard back since 2018. So I think he's going to figure out a way to load the box, stop Saquon. And the other thing is, you got to remember, they run so much read option. Jalen pulls the ball a lot, and that's going to limit Saquon's touches when he pulls the ball, and Saquon don't get it because Jalen keeps it. There's another added element right there. So Spagnuolo knows that. And when you do that with a guy that's had 2 weeks off to prep, and then remember, this is the cold part no one wants to talk about. The Eagles lost the Super Bowl 2 years ago to the same team because their DC at the time, Coach Gannon, was 1 foot in and 1 foot out and already accepted the job for the Arizona Cardinals. So Sirianni came out and was kind of hot about it and was like, man, you kind of fucked us. Our players made to the biggest game in the deal, and you're looking for coaches to hire and your next job. Well, Kellen Moore is rumored to take the Saints job already, and he's the OC. This will be, if he leaves, man, Jalen Hurts will have 4 OCs in basically 4 years.
That's crazy.
So Jalen's going to have to get over the hump, and I hope that this coach, Kellen Moore, is fully invested in this thing because the players deserve it. To make it to the biggest game and to have their coaches half-assing, it's not the coach's issue. It's the league policy. I don't believe that coaches should be able to be hired or poached until after the Super Bowl. It just makes sense. The NFL's not college. These motherfuckers don't need to get a job right now. They're not recruiting. This ain't college. They're not building a weight room and shit. So I don't know. We're going to see, but Jalen's going to have to get over the hump by outperforming Mahomes, and that's a tall task in a big game. So I think that's going to be the key element. And then on the other side, can they stop Saquon and hold him under 100 yards, which makes Jalen throw the ball even more, which is not his strong suit, even though he threw 300 in that game. But a lot of that, if you watch that game, there was a lot of yak yards in that game, and then he won. He balled with his feet more with his arm than in my opinion. So we'll see. But Jalen's the key.
Jack, who are you looking at on the Kansas City side? I mean, this team has won 2 Super Bowls in a row. They're saying this team wasn't, this team hadn't necessarily been putting up the numbers that they had in the past, but somehow, some way, Patrick Mahomes finds himself in the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm looking at both sides of the football for Kansas City. Their defensive line, they've been playing well all year. They have to stand up and like Coach said, put a good defense on Saquon. Saquon been dominating everybody. If they can stop Saquon, the Eagles in trouble, big time trouble. On the defensive side, but on the offensive side, man, you got to sit back and just wait till Mahomes pull out his magic hat and do some magic if that's what it come down to. I mean, people talk about all their games being close, but the name of the game is winning. And a lot of people don't have that blessing and that skill to find a way to win. That's why Mahomes separates himself. He finds a way to win. And then in big games, not just in regular games, in big games too. So He's been here. He's found a way to win. I want to see a black quarterback be the first quarterback to three-peat. And Mahomes has a great chance to do that. And I'm pulling for Mahomes because I'm just a big fan of what he was able to do along with Kelsey and those other guys.
JB, 5 Super Bowl appearances in 7 years. He has 3 rings or 4? He has 3 rings with the possibility of 4. I mean, it's still early. God willing, this dude has another 8-10 years to play in this game. Where's Mahomes at in the hierarchy of greats,
man,
from the quarterback position?
It's going to be everyone's going to say it's a hot take and all this shit when you talk about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' queendom. Here's the thing. Here's the issue, man. I'm going to be honest. Like, I think Andy Reid is unbelievable as a play caller. He's going to keep guys in.
I agree.
And the common denominator here is no one wants to talk about. Think about all these coaches that we just talked about leaving jobs during runs. The Chiefs have beat multiple teams when they're losing a coordinator or 2. You saw this year the number 1 seed Detroit Lions lose week 1 to the Commanders because guess what? They lost both coordinators.
Yeah.
And you have to second guess, like, were they really all in that game, or were they worried about the new job they took? Again, my point to this whole coaching hiring practice, Andy Reid, though, can lose coordinators every year. It doesn't matter. You know why? He's the head coach and play caller. And when he's the elite of both of those, it doesn't matter who he loses. Other guys lose shit, and you see their teams get fucked.
Yeah,
so
apart.
this is Andy Reid's still here, man, and if anyone can neutralize the number 1 defense in football, the Eagles, it's Andy Reid with 2 weeks off. And I think that at the end of the day, to answer your question, remember where we play. We play in an era, us three played in when basketball was tougher than football at this point. Football's soft, man. You can't hit the QB. You can't throw a slant to a receiver and not know, oh, shit, can I get a targeting call or hit this cat over the middle? We used to try to knock you out on an over-the-middle pass. Wideouts now are catching the ball with no fear, no issue. So the game has changed. I think the rules have made it a little bit easier for guys like Mahomes, who, if you watch him carefully, he'll take an extra 3 steps on the sideline knowing the guy won't hit his ass. So back in the day, you were sliding your ass down early. Nowadays, Mahomes has been a huge benefit factor of that rule change. But you know what? He wins games, like Stak said. He wins, and that's the name of the game. And we can talk all that shit this year. They really only lost 1 game. The last game they tanked. They didn't really care, but they lost 1 game again. How close it matters, I don't care how close the games were. And all the bettors talking about they only covered this many. That don't mean shit. Andy Reid don't care about that. But the thing is, man, what's up with these refs? Is that a real thing? People are out there.
That's a real thing.
Hey,
that Kansas City Magic is real over there. That Kansas City Magic is real.
I had 3 Super Bowl champs on my show this morning. Eric Weddle every Monday. We had Rob Nikovich, who's a New England Patriot 2-time champ, and then Sean King's on every Monday. And they all were like, man, I've never seen nothing like this. Like I know T.O. just came out, I think, and said something about the same thing. Like it's catered to Mahomes. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting, man. These calls are really, really, they're skeptical, man.
Well, they just get the benefit of the doubt more times than they don't. Like the calls can either be a no call, or if it is called, it can go. They get the benefit of the doubt a lot more than anybody else, but they've also won. But
Matt, where do you put Mahomes? Where do you put Mahomes? So you got, here's the thing.
Go ahead. I put him up there. I mean, you look at Tom, you look at Joe, you look at Aaron Rodgers.
What's your criteria?
Man, I love Steve Young.
What's your guys' criteria? Is it
shit, I think this is a longer conversation that we don't necessarily have time for. I just look overall, like winning counts. You know, I think Aaron Rodgers was the one guy that was super talented, only won one, Super Bowl, but had a lot of talent. You know, you look at the Peyton Mannings. I mean, it's just our era had a lot of great quarterbacks. Aikman. I think the quarterback position is Aikman. Yeah, the quarterback position is with all due respect, not as strong as it used to be. I think that's obviously a long conversation. But I think Pat is definitely up in that mix, boy, and still a long way to go career wise. So real quick. One word, who you got, Jack?
Chiefs.
Chiefs
-1.5.
I never go for the Eagles. I'm a Cowboy fan. I don't.
It's hard to bet. It's hard to bet against the Chiefs, man. It's a pick me game. I know you got a betting site that represents the show. I think it's a pick me game. It's anyone's ball game. So I mean, I'm going to roll with the 3-peat though, and Andy Reid just getting over the hump. Plus, remember, Andy has something to say. He coached this team in Philadelphia, so he would love to go out and beat their ass twice in 3 Super Bowls. So I think that's another factor that no one talks about. So remember, he was an Eagle for a long time, and I'm gonna go with the Chiefs to win a 3-peat, man. I believe in Andy.
This episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network. I know we stay joking, but let me take a second to put on my serious voice, because this isn't a joking matter. Me personally, I would never joke about a 5G network that has invested billions in building 5G towers across the country.
Me neither.
Not even once.
Me neither.
Feel me?
Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network and also provides coverage across 99% of America. Seriously. Visit boostmobile.com or your nearest Boost Mobile store for more information.
The Boost Mobile network, together with our roaming partners, covers 99% of the U.S. population. 5G speeds not available in all areas.